Aaron Drager, who is well connected with the Marner camp, said that the Leafs and Marner...
Is that documented?
It is documented. I said the Leafs and Marner are in a good place, and that the understanding is that he will make a lot of money, whether it is in Toronto or elsewhere. What I find interesting, guys, is when we sat before training camp, I believe it was 2019, where Marner was out of contract and he signed it 2 days before training camp. The anxiety that we had as a group of fans and on this show about that was so high. This year, I don't know about you, but I haven't really thought about it too much. What do you guys, is there I don't see the anxiety from fans about this. I'm curious as to why, because I can't quite explain it to myself. This is a great hockey player.
I worry about apathy. I think fans are kind of done, to be honest. Like they're sort of interested in Berube. This morning, I was talking to someone who I talk to once every few months when I see them, and she looked very excited, and I thought it was going to be a burning Leafs question. So why isn't Crosby signed? That's what I got. You know why? Because that's interesting. Leafs aren't interesting. What's going on with Austin and Mitch? And gives a fuck. Okay, you got your C. You took it from John. You gave it to gives a shit. Some guy who got millions last time is going to get more millions this time, even though he's done fuck all in between getting the millions. Who cares? Who cares? You've said for years, Adam, that Leafs fans are blue collar fans. Like, even though the stands are filled with seats. Suits.
They are filled with seats.
The stands are filled with seats.
Both are true.
That are filled with suits. My bad. The stands are filled with suits. But Leaf fans like a blue collar team.
A Hard Knocks team. They do like a tough team.
We're weird. Like, if given the choice between having a President's Trophy winning juggernaut or the 1993 team that squeaks in and upsets Detroit, everyone's going to take the team that upsets Detroit and, makes a little bit of noise.
Or I think more recently, people focus too much on the 93 team. How about a team that included Darcy Tucker, Gary Roberts, and Ty Domi?
Gary Roberts, there was a time where he could have ran for mayor and won with no contention.
Yeah.
There was a time. Maybe still. He might.
And he was a fantastic player.
Yeah.
So was Darcy.
Yes. But Roberts decided to sacrifice both his shoulders en route to just going to the third round. And we were like, that guy's an animal. Anyway, you know where I'm going with all this. Like, I don't think you panic about things you don't really care about. When the puck drops, fans will get excited again. And they'll be like, what are we talking about? It's the passion, go Leafs go, and all that. And then Mitch is probably going to go on the best pace of his career. It's a contract year. But year in, year out, year in, year out, year in, year out. I'm supposed to give a shit about what this kid's going to make.
So it comes back to April. Jesse, yes! Do you agree with that?
Yes, Jesse.
No,
yes,
not.
Adam.
You don't agree.
No, that's the thing. But I don't know. We're not supposed to go there.
So Adam, no. This is an important conversation, right? Because we have this show and we do 3 a week, and I have LFR and I do 3 or 4 a week, and that one's just Leafs. Like, here we can hide a little bit. And we can go into nooks and crannies and talk about different topics. I can't sit here and go, yeah, but April, every friggin' video.
That was my point. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
No, I know. And I know. But to sit here, and I have a hard time. I have such a hard time focusing on the beginning of the season. Especially when it comes to the old faces. And this team is mostly old faces, by the way.
It's a lot of change this year.
My Game 7 LFR video was called Eulogy. And Game 1 of this season should be called Brains.
Rising from the dead in October.
Nothing changed.
Yeah.
It's an identical team. All they did was the guys who walked, they filled it with free. I don't even think they made a trade. They filled it with free agents. The free agents left. Free agents joined. I liked the things that they did in free agency, but that's it. That's it. Everything is on the table. Everything is off the table, but shoved off like a cat. Just saying, fuck it.
In terms of the pure roster construction, on day one, there's probably going to be 2 Leafs in the starting lineup that didn't play for them last year. And that's it. It's going to be Tanev and OEL.
Yeah.
Like
installers. Well, yeah, but he won't be in the starting lineup.
He's not going to be starting.
You're right.
There's
what about
2 changes?
I'm going to say 3 with Easton Cowan. I think he makes the team out of camp. I think they give him the Fraser Minton.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Sure.
right? Fair?
Sure. Okay,
But you're right.
You get 3, and one of the 3 was in the organization. So, what's the big moves are 2 guys.
Well, I guess
Steve, you're not wrong in that. Yeah, it's the zombie league. We all thought the day after a game, well, that night, and then the morning when we wake up, it was over. Yeah. Wholesale changes from the whole thing, and we come back and it's 2/3 guys who are different.
I talk to so many Leaf fans. And it always comes back to April. Every time. And like, this is very anecdotal, but it always comes back to April. And the difference between Charlie Brown not being able to kick the football because Lucy keeps pulling it away and normal people is we're not as dumb as Charlie Brown. Like that's what being a Leaf fan is every year the hockey gods go, "Wah!" and they pull the football away. And
But that's
people
part of
are
the
like, you know
passion
what?
that
I'm not going
unites us all.
But that's so you're asking the fans like, where's the anxiety about Mitch and everything? But that leads the apathy. The apathy is we've kicked this football and we know it's going to be moved away from us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get excited about this thing until I see something on the ice and they're winning and everything's happy again. But in September, what is it? September 9th?
September 9th, yeah.
You expect me to have anxiety over this team? I don't care. That's what leads the conversation.
The Leafs have a couple things going really well for them. Number one, they have a corporate well that just will never run dry. They have the best regular season goal scorer in hockey. And the other teams in this city fucking stink.
Yeah, they
Fucking stink.
Yeah, they do. All of them.
There's
All of them do.
The Scepters, which we'll get to. You know, they've only played one season. You know,
Yeah, it's going to take a little while for that to up. Like, I know the hardcores are there, but it's going to take a little while for that to have a place in the city, like, you know, a team like the Jays or the Raptors.
But if we're talking about the major men's sports franchise that have established their brand in the city for decades, over half a century for at least a couple of them, the Blue Jays stink. The Raptors stink. The Leafs will win. They'll win games.
They're at least a playoff team.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bank that.
In terms of the team you're most likely to watch win a game, the Leafs. Even in the playoffs. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? They'll win 45% of the playoff games that they have, which is so much better than the Jays. In recent memory.
Yeah.
Like it all comes back to that. And I'm going to try. I am going to try because I know no one wants to hear that shit all the time.
No.
But that's the beginning, middle, and end of this team.
No, once games start, it's different. Asking people to get all worked up and hyped about the Leafs on September 9th is a little different, unless you're a hardcore hockey fan, which the majority of people listening to this are. But once the puck is dropped, it's completely different. The NHL season's back. Everything's exciting. A goal will be scored, and you're like, oh, Austin scored a goal. I'm excited.
Hooray. Yeah.
There's things going on.
Adam is like trying to manifest Easton Cowan making this team.
He's going to.
And I'm like, you know what? Please. I need the
That'd be
distraction.
fun.
I need it.
Awesome.
I need it.
Nick Robertson
There's something
signing.
to talk about.
Nick Robertson signing and then scoring the first goal of the Leafs season. Give me that shit.
Now, is it on the power play or is it 5-on-5?
5-on-5.
What is he doing?
No, a power play.
What is he doing on the power play?
Nick Robertson?
Being Nick
PP2.
Robertson.
They're
Second
not,
unit.
They're
second
not.
unit.
I don't think they're going to. One thing I will say is I don't think they're going to stack power play units anymore. They can't do it. That's one thing. If everything's on the table, you can't stack everybody on PP1 because you know it's disappearing in March.
These guys need to play a preseason game. For the love of God.
Yeah.
Like an oasis in the desert. Because all we have right now is a near identical team.
I need Tic-Tac-Tomar, Mikko Kokkonen highlights. Now. That's what I need.
Who's the guy that we get way too excited about this year?
Well, I think Easton Cowan is going to be a guy you get excited about this year.
I need an
Here's the
Alex
thing.
Steves hat trick.
I think Fraser Minton made the team out of camp last year because they were so not good at center. They're still not that great at center. But I'm not sure that Fraser Minton makes the team out of camp this year. I really don't. Because you're competing with guys like Steven Lorentz, and obviously
Doesn't have a
Domi.
contract.
If he's playing center, Tavares, Holmberg, Dewar. Who else am I missing? There's like a whole bunch of guys, right? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cowan as a winger is a really tantalizing prospect.
I don't think anything is off the table. Like it's a new coach. Yarncroke might get a look at center. He played there.
And he's good.
And speaking of the undead that always seems to, it just won't die. New head coach. Hey, Johnny's getting up there. But we got this Willie kid who's pretty good. Why don't we try him at center?
They are not trying him at center.
I bet they do.
No way.
In the preseason?
Jesse.
You don't think he centers his brother?
You
don't think he centers his brother?
You're the biggest William Nylander booster in the city. Are they trying William Nylander at center?
Willie at center, the thing that's failed 14 times, and we're going to try for a 15th time?
They tried Laine at center. I know he's not a leave.
Well, they did this last.
Yeah, the worst organization in the NHL tried Laine at center for several years.
Who's the worst organization?
The Blue
CBJ?
Jackets. They're just so poorly run.
Over a period of time, maybe.
William Nylander at center is something they tried last preseason.
Yep.
And then they got to the regular season. They said, "Oh yeah, that failed in the preseason."
Yeah,
They're
but
trying
what
that
is
in 2017.
the Leafs'
Why would they do it
motto?
again?
What is the Leafs' motto? It is not the passion that unites us all.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What is it now?
The Leafs' motto is, "Hey, but I just got here."
Don't quote the president like that.
The president, the president's boss, the GM, the coach. Every year, there is some guy in the Leafs organization who can do whatever he wants because, well, hey, I just got here. So Berube could put Willie at center, try him as the backup goalie. His brother's the starter. He can do whatever he wants. Hey, I just got here.